Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devvon Terrell, and welcome to another Help Me Devvon tutorial. And today, in this Help Me Devvon tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make your kicks knock harder with one plugin. And I really mean this. It's a trick that I've been doing as of lately that I think will help you so much. Let me show you the trick. Okay, so right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this song or this beat. This is a beat made by my guy LJ. I'll leave a link in the description for him. Very talented producer from the Audio Nerds podcast. I'm going to bypass the effect back and forth. Take a listen to the difference without first.
Sorry to bother you, honey.
And that's a really dope difference, especially being that we're working with a 2-track and, you obviously you don't have, let's say for instance, you don't have access to the actual kick track. You can also, of course, do this with just an individual kick, which is what I do when I have my stems and stuff like that. But I want to show you the versatility with this actual trick where you can literally manipulate that information and create a more transient or more harder sounding kick with this plugin. What plugin are we using? I'm going to show you the plugin we're using. So the plugin that we're using is the Neutron 4 Transient Shaper, which has become one of my more favorite or more used transient shapers as of recently for this one specific thing that it does. Now, unlike other transient shapers that I've seen so far, this particular transient shaper does something really, really cool. Like most transient shapers, what they're doing is they're taking whatever your sound source is, and basically you're able to manipulate the transient of that sound. What does that really mean? Let's say, for instance, you have a kick and you want it to sound a little bit more of harder, or you want it to crack some more. What you would do is you could take a transient shaper and just make that transient, that spike, a little bit stronger. You can make it louder, so when it comes back down, there's more dynamics as well. So basically, you're just taking the spikes or creating spikes in your audio source. That's what gives you that impression of crack, of snap, of hit a lot of times in your audio. Now, why is this particular transient shaper very special? Let me show you. Unlike a lot of other transient shapers that I've seen, when you bring in your sound source, a kick, a snare, or anything like that, you're basically manipulating the entire sound, right? As far as the frequency spectrum is concerned. Meaning, when I bring in the kick, I have from 20 hertz to, let's say, 20,000 hertz. Of course, I know a kick doesn't go that high, but let's say that's the full spectrum of the entire kick. Well, when you put in a transient shaper, what you're doing is you're increasing the transient of the entire sound, right? Where it comes in. So instead of increasing the transient of the entire sound, what if we just hone in on a specific frequency range of that kick where it's knocking or where we want that knock? So if I say to myself, I feel like I want a more of a bump in that 70 hertz to 120 hertz range of my kick, I can hone in on that specific frequency and create more of a transient in that one range. This is powerful. I'm going to show you. Please also make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I'm about to show you some gold right now. Okay, so I'm going to take my settings and I'm going to bring it down for a second and turn it off. Let's listen to the frequency range, or basically let's just listen to this specific range that I have honed in on right now. So I made a split at 78 hertz and 167 hertz. Take a listen to this range. So I like this range a lot. I was getting a lot of that sound. I was getting a lot of what I felt like was a great combination of knock as well as getting a little bit of that low end sound as far as a kick is concerned. I felt like I was getting to a place where I was getting some roundness, not too much in the low side, but in a place where I feel like would hit hard, and I would hear it on things like cell phones and smaller type devices and stuff like that. So what I did was I came on over to the frequency range, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna solo it again, and we're gonna raise this thing that says attack right here. So we're gonna raise the attack of the transient in this specific frequency range. as you can see, you can get a little crazy with it, with increasing that transient, but understand you're not increasing the transient of the entire kick. You're really just increasing the transient of that one section within the kick, which is so powerful and so dope. I'll show you a little bit more within this plugin to kind of get your gears turning to see how you can also use it for yourself as well. So I had my transient, or I had my attack in this specific range at about 2. And that's where I felt like I wasn't getting too much of a difference in my sound, because you have to be very careful when you're adding more in just one specific frequency range, because now you're altering the overall sound of the actual kick. So what I did and what I suggested, I just gave it about 2 on the attack to just give me just a little bit more, and it gave me that result. Let's take a listen to what it sounded like before and after, just soloed. So without first. It's hitting, and it's so subtle, but at the same time you feel it, you hear it, and maybe it's not so subtle, but you can even make it more dramatic. You can increase the attack and make that sound more dramatic. And I think this is a really cool way where if you're inside of your 2-track, for instance, or whatever you are, if you have the stems by itself as well, you're not increasing so much of that frequency spectrum in the sense of taking an EQ and boosting 60 hertz and just saying, okay, my kick is bumping now. When you're bumping up the overall sound of everything that's right there in that particular frequency range. So instead, I'm really just honing in on a moment as well and just bringing it up when I need it, as opposed to just bringing up the overall level of the entire sound if I just use EQ. This is a really, really powerful technique, and I really, really implore you guys to check it out. Try it for yourself. I'll show you a few other things within the plugin. You have the sustain here as well, which allows you to manipulate how long you want to sustain the transient. Use this to taste. You can also decrease it, which I thought was really cool, as far as how quickly you want it to release. Kind of like a compressor, if that makes any sense. There's different modes on the side here, from sharp, medium, and smooth. Pick your poison. I don't want to have you guys look at this so much, but I want you to pick your poison and really use your ears to determine which sound specifically you like, as far as how it actually reacts and how it uses the envelope to depict how that attack is going to be increased or decreased depending on these different modes of the envelope. You also have up here precise, balance, and loose, and this is basically attacking the envelope as well, deciding how it reacts and how it releases and things of that nature. Once again, with that, use your ears. It's such a preference. For me, I found so much success with balance and basically using the sharp preset setting. I love that to death. Understand that you can also take this and move up to different frequency ranges if you feel that that's not the range for you, that you want to increase or create more of a transient in. I'll show you an example. We can take this off, and I'll move on over as it's solo. Check this out. Say, for instance, that feels like something more that you would say, oh, I want to increase the transient information of that. I feel like I need more of that in my range, which is around 155 to 355. Now, obviously, this is to taste. You are altering the sound of your mix, your kick, or whatever you're using. So please use your ears and be honest with yourself when you're doing this. But this is a really, really powerful trick. It's so simple, and I really just wanted to share this with you. It's not compression. It's literally just taking a specific frequency range and then allowing yourself to create more of a transient with it. I think that it is extremely powerful. Maybe this will go over the heads of a lot of people, but I think this could help you so much. I've been using it a lot with kicks and things of that nature, and I'm pretty sure there's other applications where you can figure out where to use it at. So this has been a tutorial on how to make your kicks knock harder with one plugin. I'll leave a link in the description also below for this plugin from iZotope. I love this thing to death, the Neutron 4 Transient Shaper. Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Also, you make sure you follow us at Help Me Devvon on Instagram. Also, please make sure that you follow us on our Discord with a bunch of aspiring engineers like yourself, trading secrets and giving game. That'll be in the description as well. And then please make sure you follow the My Audio Nerds podcast. Every single Wednesday, we drop episodes regarding things like this. And if you're an audio nerd, trust me, you're going to love it. I'll put a link in the description as well. So that has been my tutorial on how to make your kicks knock harder with one plugin. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, you guys.